So if the list price doesn't tell you what a home is worth, what does? Let me help coach you. Comparable sales, comps, homes that are recently sold in a similar size, condition, location, and features. Here's how I think about it, and here's how appraisers break it down in this market. First, in a market that moves as fast as this one, a comp from 12 months ago is not meaningful in today's market. Look for sales in the last 30 to 60 days where possible. Older comps can still inform you, but essentially it has less weight when the appraiser is evaluating them. Essentially, the appraiser is going to be trying to match apples to apples. So sometimes they do go a little bit further back. It just depends. Second, location matters. Let's go through an example. A home in Cupertino with Cupertino school districts, and you take another home that's only half a mile away and it's in Sunnyvale with a different school district, can have very different values. It could be the same size, it could be in the same condition, but don't let geographic proximity mislead you about the school districts and their assignments. Third, condition and updates do matter. A fully renovated kitchen and bathroom add real value to the home. A home that needs significant work and should maybe sell for less. When you're running comps, try to match the condition as closely as possible. Again, apples to apples. Fourth, look for the list to sale price ratio. This is a percentage of the list price that the home ultimately sold for. If the comps in the neighborhood are consistently selling for 115 to 125 of the list, that's your signal about how to think about your offers. This is where pulling the data can be super helpful, and this is where I can help you. One of the most common mistakes I see buyers make, especially analytical buyers who love a clean metric, is anchoring to the price per square foot. This is why it's a trap in this market. Price per square foot does not account for the lot size, which can be significant. A 6,000 square foot lot in a very desirable neighborhood may command a substantial premium over a 4,000 square foot lot, even if the homes are identical. It doesn't account for the location within the neighborhood. A home in a cul-de-sac versus a busy street will have different values, even if they're only 500 feet away. It doesn't account for the school district assignment, which, as mentioned, can drive a meaningful price difference between other comparable properties. And it doesn't account for the functional layout. Two homes with the same square footage can feel very different and sell differently, depending on how the space is laid out. Price per square foot is a smart point for a quick scan, but not an actual valuation tool. Use it to flag abnormalities, but don't use it as a decision maker. Not every pricing situation, though, is a teaser priced competitive offer situation. There are some worth paying attention to. A home that has been sitting on the market longer with comparable listings is worth scrutinizing over. In this market, desirable homes move fast. If a home has been on the market 30 days, 40 days, 60 days, the market is telling you something. It may be overpriced, have undisclosed issues, or it could just be a problematic location. It's worth investigating. Price reductions are worth noting, but don't automatically mean it's a deal. Sometimes a seller overpriced to begin with and has to come back to reality. Sometimes there's a real reason that the market is not responding. Newly listed homes priced significantly above recent comps with no clear explanation in the terms or renovation or location premiums are usually going to sit. Either the seller will reduce it or they'll eventually find one buyer that's willing to pay that. List price convince you that the value that's don't support. And watch for homes relisted after a prior sale fell through. There are many legitimate reasons a buyer's financing fell apart or there's something that came up during the inspection that caused a deal to collapse. Let me walk you through how I actually approach valuing a home. So we're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, approximately 1,500 square feet, listed for $1.55 million in Willow Glen. The listing photos show a renovated kitchen, but it has original bathrooms. Step 1, pool sold comps in Willow Glen in the last 30 days, maybe 60 days. I want to look for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, same square footage range, let's say between 1,300 square feet to 1,700 square feet. I'll note the sold price and the list to sale price ratios. Step 2, I'm adjusting for condition. If comps sold for $1.9 million for a completely renovated home, and the home that we're looking at has the original bathrooms, I'm going to evaluate that and I am going to account for that. Bathroom renovations in this market can be $40,000 to $80,000 depending on the scope. Some cases may be less, other cases it could be more. depending on your location. Now, step 3, I'm gonna check the school assignments. This absolutely matters, and it matters for resale values for the buyers competing with you. If this home is in a highly rated school zone, that supports the premium. If it's in a less thought out after zone, comps from a different zone may not be applicable. Step 4, I'm forming a range based on the comp, the condition, adjustments, school assignments, and I may land at a fair market value at 1.75 to 1.85. I'll make sure to provide you a range based off my comparable market analysis, well above the 1.55 million list price. That tells me this is a teaser price competitive situation, and my offer strategy needs to reflect that, and writing an offer at 1.55 million may not even warrant a response from the seller. Understanding how homes are priced, here is one of the highest leverage things that you can do as a buyer. It changes how you evaluate the listing, how you set your budget, and how you show up in an offer situation. If you want my comparable market sales analysis worksheet, the exact framework I use for my buyers and how I run comps, it's inside my strategic buyer playbook. Free download in the description. Next week, I'm covering how to win a bidding war without overpaying. The actual strategies that work here and not a generic advice. Subscribe so you don't miss it. See you there.